Hello, I'm Jim White. I'm the town manager of Grand Lake, and I happen to be sitting in the Grand Lake Lodge right now overlooking Grand Lake. There are going to be a lot of people telling you part of our story. We are here in Grand Lake. We're the gateway to the Rocky Mountain National Park, and we also have Grand Lake, which is Colorado's deepest natural lake. It's a great combination of wonderful mountains and the lakes combined, and that is such a feature that very few places in Colorado have to enjoy. As town manager, I'm engaged with a lot of our citizens and residents and visitors throughout the year, and we are just enthused about what Grand Lake is becoming and what it's always been. It's got a very rich history. It's been in existence since the late 1800s. It wasn't incorporated as a town until 1944, but it's one of the most beautiful places on the planet, and people who come here to visit always come back. We welcome you to Grand Lake, and we hope you come visit, and I hope you enjoy the stories to come.
All right, good morning. I'm Jennifer Brown, and I have had the pleasure of being in Grand Lake for 7 years. It's been a process, you know, when a creative goes through a lifelong journey, things don't always go perfect. I've gone through many studios and had the opportunity to have stores around Colorado, but somehow the blessing came here in Grand Lake, and I got to have an opportunity to this be my Delish Body Works studio. Downstairs is the Mountain Gal, it's my retail space, and next door is the Quafford gift shop. So I feel like this is home. The doors have opened, and Grand Lake has just loved us and our business. This has been 12 years since I've been doing this. That story goes that I was in graduate school and I needed to make a little bit of extra money on the weekends. So I was making some soap, going to festivals, and I happened to put a rubber duck in my soap. And a gentleman walked up and said, "Can I have that rubber duck with no soap all over it?" I thought, holy cow, could this be a great companion to Delish Body Works? And what I didn't know was that there's a huge market for rubber ducks. I took 100 rubber ducks and sold them out. And then I took 1,000, and then they sold out. As the economy went down in Denver, my husband lost his corporate job, and we found ourselves selling rubber ducks full time. Well, Delish has been my passion, and I wanted to continue with Delish Body Works. So Delish got a store, and then it's a part of the Mountain Gal, and as over the 12 years has gone, I have over 150 wholesale customers as well. So Delish is a big part of my business, and I feel blessed that I have a studio that has a $1 million view so that I can work and see Grand Lake every day.
Hi, my name is Peggy Mann. I'm a singer-songwriter and musician here in Grand Lake. My husband and I have lived here full-time for the last 10 years. Absolutely love this little town. I've been singing here since 1994. And the reason I started coming to Grand Lake and singing is because this town loves their musicians. And as a songwriter, that was really important to me. Where we're sitting right now is called the Grand Lake Community House. And it holds about 178 people when it's seated fully. I hope that you'll come and see our productions here. It's a great town, and we just love Grand Lake. It's a small town with a big heart.
Hi guys, I'm Leona with Jumpstart Coffee and Tea here in Grand Lake. This is our little shop here. My son and I, about 9 months ago, decided that we wanted to have a business, and we bought this little coffee shop and decided to make it our own. What we have done is we've added different things. We want to be unique, so we've added smoothies, bubble tea, boba, popping pearls, and one of our biggest items are these loose leaf teas. And we're also looking at creating, you know, grab and go crepes. The tourists here, they don't want to sit down. They want to enjoy the facilities and walk the boardwalk. So we are putting together where we can do crepes in a cone, and they can walk the boardwalk and still have something unique on their vacation. I hope someday that we're big enough that we can expand and get a bigger store or a second location as well.
My name is Marjorie Cranston, And how did I get to Grand Lake? I'd never even heard of Grand Lake before, and then I did a job up here. I had a fireplace to do for a client because I do interior design. So I came up here, I had my fishing gear in the back of my vehicle, and so I put my pole in the middle of winter. I was kind of going like this, but anyway, I put my pole in the water and I went, I want to live here. So I went home and I said to my husband, would you sell everything we own and move to Grand Lake? And he went, yeah, why not? So we did. And that's been, wow, 17 years ago. You have to be creative here. You have to do things that are out of the box. So as far as like coming up here looking for a job, you might as well create your own. So my mom died the year that I moved up here. I got $14,000 and that was my inheritance, and I started the store. So I started the store and I actually put money down on that side over there. And it was like, you know, I didn't have any product to sell, I didn't have anything. So I would take an easel and go out on the boardwalk and paint pictures. And I'd sell them right off the side of the boardwalk, and that's how I started. And it was survival for a lot of years here, you know, because we're growing now, and it's wonderful to see other artists coming in. But at the time, you were sort of it on the boardwalk, and then with about 7 or 8 months of no business. So it's lovely to see that the town is growing and people are coming here. Where do I want to take the vision? Well, you know, when you move here, and I was younger then, and now I don't even want to admit how old I'm going to be, but 70's around the corner, and life isn't about yourself. It's about other people, and it's about helping artists and helping people grow in their own business. And I think the thing that is so difficult for artists is that they don't necessarily have a business mind. So when I meet young artists out of college, I think the training for them would be in how to start a business and how to grow it and how to be an artist that actually can sell things. The know-how of that and how to do it is just something that people need training in. So I guess that's my vision for the community.
My name is Laura Kratz, and I am the new gallery owner here in Grand Lake. We did change the name to Studio 8369. As a professional artist, I truly believe that art can revive a community. It can bring new life to old buildings and old spaces. I've seen it happen back in Kansas City when we lived back there in the Arts District. And the arts movement there is more alive than it's ever been. And I really want to see that happen here in Grand Lake. When my husband and I moved here 4 years ago, we kind of stepped out in faith. We quit our jobs, we sold our house, and we just moved to Grand Lake. And what happened was, because there isn't a real thriving art community, we had to get jobs. And we worked really hard for the last 4 years. And to actually be able to get to a point where we've opened a gallery and I can start painting more full time and get back to what I truly love and get back to the community, that's a really great thing. I know a lot of other artists that would love to be able to do that, and they just financially can't, because to live and work in Grand Lake and Grand County is tough, and it's hard to be able to survive on 3 months of your salary for the entire year. I think a lot of times people look at a painting and they say, oh, well, they want a lot of money for that, but they really just don't understand what goes into not only getting to a point where you can paint like this, but getting to a point where you can afford to do it. It's a costly venture, but most artists will tell you they'd rather live poor and have art in their lives than to not have art at all and just work. So if we can make it so that people can come to Grand Lake and live here and work here and create here, that's a great thing.